Hi everyone, welcome back again to Anna. My name is Anna. In today's video, we're going to talk about this fountain pen that I have here. This is from Fountain Pen Revolution. This is Himalaya. So they currently have two versions of this. They have version 1 and version 2. So for today's video, I am going to talk about the version 1. So I will tell you the properties of the pen and then show you how the pen writes, and then I'm going to talk about what I like and what I dislike about the pen. So for the properties, this pen comes in many different nib sizes, or I should say nib points. They sell this in extra fine. They also have fine, medium, broad, steel flex, ultra flex, and 1 millimeter stub nib. So you have a lot of nib sizes to choose from. As for the material, the body of this pen is made up of acrylic. Actually, all of the components of the pen, they come in the matching acrylic. Okay, so you have the barrel, you have the cap, and the section. So they all come in matching acrylic. So the cap itself, okay, has this chrome trim. They also sell them in I think gold trim. So the one I have is chrome, and the clip here is sturdy and durable without it being too stiff. And then you have this nice metal ring here on the cap that also has their engraving that says FPR. Okay, now the length of the pen is about maybe a few millimeters short of 14 centimeters. So maybe like 1 or 2 millimeters short of 14 centimeters. So having said that, this is actually, you know, a short pen for some people who have bigger hands. But for me, I don't really mind that it's short. Sometimes I write with it, you know, and post it. But when you post a cap, posting the cap will lengthen, you know, the pen by, I think, you know, a few centimeters. So it actually adds 3 centimeters to the pen, making it 17 centimeters instead of just, you know, 14. And then it has a screw-on cap. Okay, so you twist it, you screw it on, screw it off, and then what else? So the nib is made up of steel, and the one that I have here is the steel flex nib, which has a fine point. And then the nib size itself is 5.5, and it comes in an ebonite feed. So I think the ebonite feed is about 5.1 in size. So I like the fact that this comes in ebonite feed, and the ink flow in this pen is really excellent. So it is actually a wet writer. So it does not skip, you know, it doesn't have a hard start. And that is something that I like about this pen. Now, as for the filling mechanism, it comes with a plunge type converter. This does not take, you know, a standard ink cartridge. If you prefer an ink cartridge, on their website, they said that you can also use this as an eyedropper pen, but I have not actually, you know, tried that out. I just mainly use the converter. So that's about the properties of the pen. Now let's take a look at how this pen writes. Now, one thing I really like about this pen is how versatile it is, because you can use it 2 different ways. You can use it as a daily writer, and you can also use it as a calligraphy pen. So since I have a steel flex nib, I'm also going to show you how this pen writes, you know, when you flex it. But for the first writing sample, I'm just going to have to show you how I use this as a daily writer. So let me just write the name of the fountain pen. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see clearly. So this is, I'm not going to write with, you know, too much pressure. I'm just going to use a very light, you know, hand here, so you can see how the pen writes with just using a very light pressure. So this is FPR, and this is their Himalaya pen. And this one is in version 1. Okay, so this is how the writing looks like. By the way, the ink that I'm using is Eroded Bronze from Birmingham Pen Company. And the nib that I have is Steel Flex nib. Okay. This is Steel Flex. And this is in what looks like a fine point, but it does sometimes look like an extra fine. So this is how the writing looks like. So let me write the name of the ink here as well. So this is Eroded Bronze from Birmingham Pen Company. All right, okay, so let's do like a small swatch of the ink. All right, so this is how it looks like. Let me zoom out so you guys can see. So I really like the way this pen writes, because as you can see, you know, it writes beautifully. I don't see it skipping or anything like that. It has a fine point, so it might feel, it's not, how should I say this, it's not really scratchy, but there is some feedback, and you know that it's very fine, so you know that the point size is very thin on the paper. Okay, so now what I'm going to show you is how this is going to look, how my writing is going to look if I apply a bit of pressure on my downstrokes, just to showcase, you know, the thick and thin lines that you can create using the Steel Flex nib. So if you apply a little bit of pressure, then you can create that beautiful calligraphy writing, you know, that you're going for if you want it to be fancy. So let me do the same thing. I'm going to write the name of the pen. So, but this time I am applying just a little bit of, you know, pressure. Okay, so this is how the Steel Flex nib looks like. So there is a little bit of line variation in there. Okay, so this is actually a good pen for beginner calligraphers. So if you wanted to try doing like calligraphy lettering and you do not like, you know, very flexible nibs, because very flexible nibs sometimes are difficult to control, so this would give you the right amount of flexibility, enough for you to create that thick and thin lines without being too stiff. Okay, so it is sturdy, a little flexible, but not too flexible. So this is how the writing looks like when you apply a little bit of pressure. So it does help your lettering look a little bit more fancy, you know, than just your regular penmanship or your regular handwriting. So just for the purpose of demonstration, I'm gonna write exactly the same thing, but applying, you know, more pressure here. Okay. Now, Fountain Pen Revolution also has the version 2 of the Himalaya pens, and I also have that one. And what I have on that pen is the Ultra Flex nib. So the Ultra Flex nib flexes, you know, a little bit more than this. In fact, it is very soft, not very soft. It is soft and springy, and it gives you the thick and thin lines you're going for if you wanted to create that calligraphy effect. Okay, so as usual, I'm going to write the name of the ink that I'm using here. So this is Eroded Bronze, and this is by Birmingham Pen Company. Okay, so if some of you are asking, is this a tutti, you know, pen, or does it have, you know, a tutti nib? I would say no. It is smooth. It may be it will give you a little bit of feedback, but it's not toothy. Now, if it does become scratchy, then you can always smoothen, you know, the nib or the point. But I don't find it to be toothy, you know, at all. Alright, so again, let us compare how this looks like. I'm gonna zoom out So here is the comparison of just regular writing and then writing with, you know, flexing it, giving it more pressure. Okay, so I'm going to show you other writings that I've done just to showcase the difference between the two. So this is something that I wrote a while ago. So again, I'm using the same pen, I'm using the same ink. So for daily writing, this is how it looks like. I have that quotation from The Little Prince, the part where the fox is talking to the little prince about the rose. So it says, "It is the time that you spent with your rose that makes your rose so important," said the fox to the little prince. So this is an excerpt. And then this is just a sample of the flex writing. Okay, so you create that very nice thick and thin line calligraphy effect, making it, you know, making your writing more fancy. All right, so that is how it looks like. Now let me talk about what I like and what I dislike about the pen. So I like the fact that this is versatile, that I can, you know, use it two different ways. If I want to use it as a daily writer, then I can absolutely do that. And if I want it to be fancy, then I can do that as well. Another thing is the price point. So this sells for $29. And the $29 price is only if you purchase, you know, the regular nibs they have. So if you get like an extra fine, medium, broad, you are not charged extra for that. However, if you want like a steel flex nib, you would have to pay an extra $3. And if you want an ultra flex nib, you would have to pay an extra $13. I forgot how much you would have to pay if you want, you know, a stub nib. I don't know if it's the same as the steel flex. I think it's also $3, but I could be wrong. Okay, so for the price point, if you decided to get the ultra flex nib, so this pen will amount to about $42, which is not crazy. It's actually relatively inexpensive, considering that it already comes with a converter and, you know, the kind of nib that you get, you know, the ultra flex nib is very, very nice. Now some pens they charge way more than that for, you know, a pen that flexes really well. So the price point is definitely a win. So another thing that I like about this pen is one property of this pen is that it is friction fit. So so see here, you have your feed and you have your nib. So if you insert it in the section, it is friction fit. So which means that this pen is easy to disassemble. It's also easy to assemble or put back together. So the maintenance of the pen is easy. So I like the fact that this is an easy to maintain pen because I like to test out, you know, different inks. So I like the fact that I can completely, you know, disassemble the pen so I can deep clean it. So that's one thing that I like about this. Another thing is that it is fairly reliable, I would say. So I have disassembled this, I don't know, maybe 2 times already, and I didn't have a hard time putting it back. And then, you know, I didn't see any issues with how the pen writes. Another good thing that I like about this pen is the fact that the Fountain Pen Revolution company has an excellent customer service. So if you order anything from them and you're having issues with your pen or with your nib or anything like that, you know, just let them know and they will send you a replacement. So I think that is a win for Fountain Pen Revolution. So that is really nice because you get to talk with the owner himself, and Kevin is really excellent. You know, they wanted to make sure that anybody who gets pen from them would be satisfied with their purchase. So I like the fact that their customer service is excellent. Okay, so this is an excellent writer. I have not seen this what you call that, have a hard start. I have not seen this leak or skip. So it is a fairly reliable pen, and that is a win. So what is one thing that I don't like about the pen? Well, it's not really a pen property. It's basically just a preference. So my preference is the cap. I wanted a snap-on cap like the Metropolitan. I don't know why, but I just wanted a snap-on cap because, you know, I can write with it right away if you're feeling clumsy or anything like that. It's easy for me to cap it and cap it if it is snap-on rather than a twist-on cap. Another thing that I don't like about this pen is it's not really the pen itself, but there is something about the cap here. For whatever reason, this edge of this trim right here, like this metal ring right here, is sharp. Maybe because it is maybe like 0.5 millimeters longer than the size of the cap itself, and it is a little bit sharp. Now, I don't know if this is just quality control or not, but I have not seen that or felt that with the other Himalaya pen that I got. So this one that I have here is the version 2, and this is in gold trim. I don't see this to be sharp at all. It's just like it's right size for the cap. But this one here that I have, for the version 1, for whatever reason, it does feel sharper. Maybe I can smoothen this out by using a sandpaper, but it's just something minor. It does not, you know, scratch my skin or anything like that, but it's just off. It's just a little bit sharp. So that's it. Other than that, you know, with the way the pen writes, I can't really complain because it does perform really well. Now, for those of you who are expecting that this is going to be a stiff pen, at least, you know, the flex, it is a little bit stiff, but it is not too stiff to the point that you cannot flex it. Now, with just a bit of pressure, you can create thick and thin lines. I can't compare it to other flex pens because I don't have a Noodler's flex pen. I don't have it, but some people say that, you know, you would have to exert more pressure, you know, when you write to create those thick and thin lines, and I cannot really say anything about that, or I don't really know what to compare it to when it comes to, you know, the flexibility of it. But it is actually, well, I can compare it with my Pilot Falcon, because the Pilot Falcon is also soft, you know, nib, because this is in 14 karat gold. But I would reserve that for, you know, the next video. This is specifically not marketed for, you know, as a flex pen. The nib is soft, but it's not meant to be used as a flex pen, but it does flex. Okay, so yeah, for the price point, I think this is an excellent pen. So I am going to also compare it to the Ultra Flex nib, and watch out for that. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you have not subscribed already, just hit the subscribe button so you can have notifications of when I upload my next video. If you have any question, comment, suggestion, just feel free to let me know by typing them in the comment section below. And thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. Have a good day. Bye.